Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Jed Peeler's favorite radio show of all time, Dana Andrews, and I Was a Communist for the FBI. This transcribed series originally broadcast May 7th, 1952, and it's a story about the Little Red Schoolhouse.
I was a communist for the FBI. Starring Dana Andrews in an exciting tale of danger and espionage. I was a communist for the FBI. You are about to hear a strange story. Names, dates, and places are, for obvious reasons, fictional. But many of these incidents are based on the actual experiences of Matt Cvetic, who for 9 fantastic years lived as a communist for the FBI. Here is our star, Dana Andrews, as Matt Cvetic. You can read it in the official reports, the whole story of my life as a communist for the FBI. I was in the party. I saw it work. For 9 years, I recorded the communist conspiracy against the United States from within. This is part of the story. Now, here is Dana Andrews as Matt Cvetic, undercover man. This story from his confidential file is marked Little Red Schoolhouse.
Hey! Watch where you're walking. What are you trying to do, chum? Live dangerously?
I'm sorry, mister.
Yeah, nuts.
Excuse me, buddy, but have you got a match?
Sure. Here.
Thanks.
Keep him. It's a red 9 today.
Tomorrow's red 8. Hello, Matt. Been a long time since we've worked together.
When did you get transferred from Detroit, Ed?
A month ago. Oh, here comes our car. Hop in back with me. Okay, Quine, take off.
Let's make it fast. You know how the party checks on my time.
Well, I wish we could offer you more protection, Matt, but...
I know. I'm on my own.
The report?
A new Soviet agent has arrived from Lenin Institute in Russia. A few picked commies have been undergoing training in propaganda and infiltration. I'm one of them.
And this new Soviet agent?
Is going to meet with us for briefing and assignment to some important jobs.
Anything else?
Meeting place is to be changed. This new Soviet agent isn't taking any chances. I don't even know his name yet.
When do you meet him?
Tonight, 6. Better drop me off now. Any place along here.
Yeah, pull it up, Quine.
Any last instructions?
Yes, Matt, I want a full report by mail. Also, let me know by phone, if you can, the name of this new agent and the location of your meeting place.
I'll let you know.
Matt, get in quick.
Sure. What's up?
That man, walking away from the corner. He was watching us.
Who is he?
Vasily Konostoy, a suspected Soviet agent. He's new here. We had him in the office for a routine check.
You? Ed, that makes him the boy from Lenin Institute.
Yes, very possibly. He knows I'm FBI, so you'd better start praying he didn't get a good look at you with me. If he did and he recognizes you later...
Spare the details. I know what'll happen. I'm in the party, remember? Whether Ed Grayson remembered or not, I did. It was the price of my life. When 6 o'clock came, I was picked up and driven to a small, isolated red brick house. Inside were 5 people, 4 men and a girl. Introductions told me the girl's name was Stephanie, and seating arrangements put us together in a corner. Close up, her dark loveliness was almost like a blow.
Comrade Matt. Comrade Matthew. No, I like Comrade Matt better. It's hard, tough, like you.
It's a tough world, Comrade Stephanie. No room for softness. We're nothing. The party and its beliefs are everything. Do you disagree with that?
Of course not, Comrade Matt. It's only that being near you makes me feel like a woman. Is that so terrible?
That's dangerous talk.
I'd be more careful.
I'm always careful. We'll talk more later.
Comrades, I am Vasily Konistov. I bring you greetings from Comrade Stalin. He thanks you for your loyal work. But he also desires more work, more sacrifice, especially from you, picked comrades. You are to lead the way to revolution, the Soviet state of America.
While I listened, I carefully surveyed the room, the people, until I knew I would remember every detail. Vasily Kornistoy was a big man, 6'1", maybe 2, weighed around 200, black-haired with eyes that forgot to smile when he did. Those eyes stabbed me, and I knew Kornistoy's memory was at work. When the meeting was over, he kept me for a private talk.
Something to drink?
No, thanks.
My throat was dry. I have had the feeling all evening that we have met before, Comrade Svetik.
Not that I can recall.
Well, no matter. I'll remember sometime. I always do. You have a way home?
There's a cab stand only a mile from here. It's a nice walk.
Very well. Good night, comrade.
Good night.
Comrade Matt, over here.
Oh, it's you, Comrade Stephanie.
Oh, this is my car. Would you ride into town with me?
Oh, thanks.
You drive.
Nice car. Nice girl. Nice night. Quite a combination.
I'm glad you like it.
Oh, I didn't say I liked it. I said it was quite a combination.
You are a heel, aren't you? Then I suppose I have been pretty obvious.
You have. Wow, that's some curve.
Now, with a drop-off of 100 feet, if you ever went over that embankment, it would be curtains. You should go slower.
So should you.
You needn't be rude, Matt. It's just that you're the first man in a long time I've been attracted to.
Matt.
All right, Comrade Matt. I know it's heresy for a party member to have feelings. I was hoping you might understand.
Now, take it easy, Stephanie. You're tired. You're saying things that could get you into trouble.
Yeah, I guess I am tired. May I put my head on your shoulder?
Sure.
Thanks. Oh, it's a nice feeling. Your shoulder's strong.
What I said about the combination, I mean.
The car and the night and me.
I like it.
Do you? Excuse me.
Why did you turn off the ignition?
Park for a moment.
Why?
This is why.
When I got to my hotel, dawn was breaking. Before I went to sleep, however, I made a call to a certain number and left a message for Ed Grayson to meet me that morning with the wiring crew. 5 hours sleep, then I was in a clump of woods near the little Red Schoolhouse, listening to Ed give orders to a half-dozen men loaded with wiring equipment.
All right, men. Frederick's checked the house gas meter. No one's there now, but that doesn't mean they won't come back at any time. So do your work fast and do it good. Now get moving.
The mics better be well hidden, Ed. Conestoy is sharp and suspicious.
Yeah, he'd have to tear down the walls to find these. Did he recognize you?
Yes, but he can't remember where yet.
How long is he going to be here?
I don't know. Long enough to give us a briefing and our assignments.
Yeah, we got a lot of tape recording. We won't miss a thing that happens.
Good. I'll walk down now and grab a taxi and return to the house in the open. That way I'll be there to warn your men if Conestoy or the others show up.
Yeah, smart idea.
When will the wiring job be finished?
6, 5 if it goes fast.
That's running it pretty close. Meeting starts at 6:30.
Yeah, we'll do the best we can.
I returned later, and for the next 4.5 hours, I played watchdog in the front porch of the Red House. From inside, I could hear the sounds of Grayson's men at work. At 5:42, the FBI men reported their job finished. They were packing up their equipment to leave by the back door when around the curve I saw Conestoy's car approaching. Beat it, you guys! Flash red! Flash red!
Comrade Svetchik. What are you doing here so early?
I thought I'd like to talk to you, Comrade Conestoy.
Oh? Let's go inside.
Oh, wait.
What?
I mean, it's so nice out here. Why don't we just stay on the porch? I can talk here.
Crazy, we could be spotted out here inside.
Oh, but Comrade...
You better keep it in mind that I give the orders.
Well, I guess being inside is not so bad, after all.
What's the matter with you? You look as if you expected to see something. What is it?
I merely wanted to be sure we were alone. I have a report to make about one of our comrades.
Oh, is that so? Which one?
Comrade Stephanie. She shows definite signs of bourgeois emotionalism.
Oh, I see. Then you had better watch her. Keep me informed.
I will.
You really are a fanatic, aren't you, Comrade Svetchik?
I believe and follow the party line.
Oh, don't mistake me. We need a few good fanatics. I wish I could remember where I have seen you before. Haunts me as if it's important that I should remember.
The next few days were a growing fever of tension for me. The briefing was hard and thorough. I had little time to do anything but study, and this was complicated by constant invitations to study with Comrade Stephanie. And always hanging over my head was the threat of Conestoy's possible remembrance of seeing me with an FBI man. Finally, the last day of the week rolled round.
Tonight, comrades, you receive your assignments. You have been well trained. Now you will act on that training.
We will organize infiltration of schools?
That is correct. You, Comrade Svetchik, receive a choice plum. Do you know Bryson University?
Yes, small college not far north of here.
Though small, Bryson is a highly respected school, an example to many other colleges. You and Comrade Stephanie will see that the seeds of communism are planted there.
We'll not fail, Comrade Conestoy.
I'm sure you won't. Comrade Svetchik, about where I have seen you. Perhaps you were around my hotel for some reason?
No.
No. Well, don't worry. Maybe by the time you finish your assignment, I will remember.
May 7th, 1952, I Was a Communist for the FBI on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Hi, this is Kyle Horvath with the White Pine County Tourism and Recreation Board. If you want to get away from the big cities and get back to nature this summer, give us a call at 775-289-3720 or visit us online at elinevada.net. There's so much to do and see I can't mention it in 30 seconds, but check out our website and you'll see what Nevada is really all about. elinevada.net or follow us on Facebook or Instagram. Give us a call at 775-289-3720 or visit us online at elinevada.net.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE. 833-34-BIBLE.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, more of I Was a Communist for the FBI, the Little Red Schoolhouse from May 7th, 1952.
Now back to Dana Andrews, starring as Matt Savetic in I Was a Communist for the FBI, and the second act of our story.
How long? how long did I have before the Soviet agent, Konostoy, remembered seeing me with an FBI man? The knowledge of what would happen when he did was a cold, leaden ball in my stomach. As with Comrade Stephanie, I listened to Konostoy's final instructions on our new assignment to infiltrate Bryson University.
There is one professor at Bryson who will be your best asset, Comrade Svetik. A Professor Walden.
Is he a fellow traveler?
A very reluctant one. You will have to play down everything except how communism will save the oppressed from the tyranny of fascism. Walden is fond of helping underdogs.
Well, can you get us a big name, Comrade Konostoy, someone to lecture the students?
I will send a wire tonight to Philip Stanley.
The singer?
Yes, he has a big reputation. The kids will listen to him even if he is a pinko chump.
Will he come?
He'll come. He's a thoroughgoing exhibitionist. Now, here is some expense money. Comrade Stephanie?
Yes?
I'm sending you with Comrade Svetik for only one reason. So you can have the opportunity to get your thinking straight by watching his.
Well, I don't understand you.
He is an exemplary party worker. If you are wise, when you come back, you will be too. That's all. Good night.
Good night, Comrade Konostoy.
Good night, Comrade.
Oh, Comrade Svetik.
Yes?
I just remembered where I saw you.
Where?
At the meeting of the Control Commission, the first day I arrived back here from the Lenin Institute.
Oh, no, I wasn't at that meeting.
Oh, I swear I had better remember it soon, or it will be the death of me.
Bryson University. The usual ivied buildings and rolling green campus littered with students. Professor Walden turned out to be a thin, white-haired man with bent, iron-rimmed spectacles. His office was a 6-foot square of stale air wrapped around a battered desk and a stack of papers.
Your coming to see me like this has posed quite a moral problem, Mr. Savetic. Yes, indeed, quite a problem. You see, I am not sure I am in complete sympathy with communist teachings.
Oh, of course, but we're not here to ask you to become a communist, Professor. We merely ask you to work with us in bringing relief to the unfortunates of the world.
Oh? Well, in that case, what can I do to help?
2 things. Give us a list of students you believe to be in sympathy with our cause.
And the others?
We're going to organize a lecture. Philip Stanley, the famous singer, is flying all the way out here to address the students. It would be nice if you could act as master of ceremonies and introduce him.
Oh, why, of course, I'll be delighted. Philip Stanley, indeed.
Professor Walden gave us a list of a dozen names, and we went right to work on it. Heading the list was a boy named Roger Vanning. We found him in the Student Union, the hodgepodge of noise and smoke which figures as the social center of any college.
My goodness, Matt, this is like Mardi Gras. We'll never find him in all this mess.
Sure we will, but keep moving or you'll be crushed.
Wow! Hey, fellas, get a load of this one. She's real great all the way.
Looks like you've made a hit, Stephanie. Ask him if he knows Vanning.
All right. Excuse me, but do you know where I can find Roger Vanning?
Yeah, yonder's him.
Oh.
Well, why not take a seat here, Dolly? For you, I'd go on the hook.
That'll do, Junior.
Don't tense, Dad. I ain't cruising for bruising.
Come on, Stephanie. That Roger Vanning looks like a kid who can vote. You'd better handle him alone. I'll try the next one on our list, Grace Sprocket. Meet you out front later. So you see, Miss Sprocket, it's up to the intelligentsia like yourself to lead the others.
I understand perfectly, Mr. Savetic, and I can promise you at least 20 students for the meeting.
Good. Philip Stanley will know of your work, I can assure you.
He will? I mean, of course, that I'm naturally quite pleased to be connected with Mr. Stanley in such a worthy cause. You may tell him he can depend upon Grace Sprocket.
Sure, I'll tell him. 4 days of work, and we had nearly 200 students lined up for our demonstration. I hired a hall near the campus, decorated it with the usual banners and slogans. During last-minute preparations, my mind was on Konostoy. Would he have remembered yet? Perhaps he had, and even now the goon squad was on its way.
Oh, me. Oh, these are terrible acoustics, Vedic. Perfectly awful. Really shouldn't sing at all in a barn like this. After all, you know, these boys and girls are my public. They deserve to hear me at my best.
No, absolutely, Mr. Stanley. However, just being able to see you in person and hear your words of truth will inspire these young people to magnificent heights. They'll recognize you as something far greater than a singing star.
Greater than a star?
Of course. You'll be known as a social leader, a man destined to sway multitudes toward the goal of true socialistic society.
Well, I hadn't thought of it that way. Excuse me, Svetic. I think I'll go run over this speech you prepared for me.
Better practice it, knucklehead. I hope I can keep my dinner when I hear it.
Oh, Matt, come here a minute, would you?
Sure. What is it, Stephanie?
Well, I just wanted to check plans with you.
Okay. After his song, Stanley will give his talk. And at the end, when he starts the Internationale, you give Grace Sprocket and the other agitators the signal to jump up and begin a community sing out of it.
And when the crowd's good and excited, Sprocket and company lead them off for a demonstration on Faculty Row, right?
And be sure the placards and signs are ready for them to pick up on the way out. Come on, let's get this thing rolling.
Ladies and gentlemen of Bryson, this evening marks the beginning of a new movement here in Bryson. A movement that will excite you as it has excited me. Tonight, we are striking a blow against oppression.
So, my beloved friends, here at Bryson, I want to thank you for your wonderful reception of my humble talent and words. In closing this meeting, I can only think of the words of a song dear to my heart and dear to the hearts of all who have compassion for the more unfortunate of this earth. Sing it with me. The words are on the sheets of paper you found in your seats.
And yes, we'll hear that song, May 7th, 1952, Dana Andrews, I Was a Communist for the FBI, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. The conclusion follows this break, but remember, you can always learn more about classic radio collecting and hear all of our shows on demand at classicradio.stream.
No offense, but are you a little fat when you look in the mirror? How would you like to learn the secrets to lose 3 to 5 pounds a week easily without joining the gym or going through any crazy diets? It's called Body Sculpt by Med Diet. For the last 2 decades, we've been helping people just like you that have pounds they want to shed. We've helped millions of people lose thousands and thousands of pounds over the years. And now it's your turn. Learn the secrets of how to lose weight with one simple phone call. You'll see an amazing difference in a matter of days. Don't believe us? We'll offer you a money-back guarantee. If you're ready to start losing weight right now, call right now to learn more about your risk-free order to Body Sculpt.
Call for your risk-free offer. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. That's 800-738-5332. Are you in bad pain? You know what I mean. Your knees hurt. Your shoulder hurts. Your elbow and back are constantly killing you. And I'm sure you've tried every pain pill or cream available at the drugstore. Am I right? Well, here's something you haven't tried. Pain Magic. Pain Magic is not available at any drugstore. The only place you can get it is by calling the special toll-free number I'm about to give you. And to make things even better, call right now and find out about our buy one, get one free offer. We're so confident it'll work for you that we offer a free bottle with your purchase. No prescription required. Call now to learn how you can get Pain Magic and get rid of your pain. Remember, your results may vary. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. That's 800-492-8164.
Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. And now the conclusion of I Was a Communist for the FBI, May 7th, 1952.
That's it! The Internationale! Sing it with me! Arise, ye victims of privations. Rise up, all ye who are for law.
Sing it! Let's all sing it!
Sing it loud! An end to degradation, for a new world being born.
Everything went off like clockwork. Excited by the speeches and music, and led by the screaming Grace Sprocket and her cohorts, the thoughtless kids eagerly snatched up the waiting placards and signs to start the demonstration on the campus. For an hour, Stephanie and I watched from the background as the shouting, chanting students paraded on Faculty Row.
Not a very pretty sight, Matt.
Are you crazy? It's exactly what we wanted.
The police! Matt, there'll be a riot for sure.
Right. That's why I called them. Come on, Stephanie. Our work here is done. Here we are, Stephanie. Back at the Little Red Schoolhouse. Come on, Conestoy's waiting for us.
Let him wait for a minute. I'm sick of it, Matt. I'm sick of the rottenness of the lying and cheating. Let's quit the party, you and I. We could go away together.
What? You must be out of your stupid mind, talking to me this way.
Oh, what are you going to do?
What do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to report you. The party has ways of dealing with treason.
Oh, no, please, don't turn me in, Matt. I'm sorry.
It's too late. Get inside.
I heard the report on the radio. You did a good job, comrades. What's the trouble? You look angry.
I am angry. This traitor just tried to make me quit the party.
Oh, did she? I told you, Comrade Stephanie. Comrade Svetik is as solid as the Kremlin.
He sure is.
Wait a minute. You mean I was just being tested?
Testing high-ranking party members is my job, Comrade Svetik. I'm an agent of the MVD. Now, if you excuse me, I'll have to get back to town and file my report.
Tested. After all my years in the party.
Happens to all of us. Oh, yes. I have something for you. A reward. Here in this drawer.
Reward?
This. Put up your hands.
A gun? What's this all about? I don't understand.
FBI agent. That's where I saw you. You were talking to an FBI man. I told you I would remember.
Oh, now look, I can explain that.
Now
This
to
fellow
my
just...
car, you dirty stool pigeon. Move!
What do you plan to do? Do you mind telling me?
Yes, I will be glad to. I want you to have time to be afraid. We are going to arrange a little suicide. Your suicide.
My only hope was the FBI surveillance. Conestoy and I were at his car when the FBI men moved in on the run, Ed Grayson leading. Conestoy opened the car door just as Grayson squeezed a shot over our heads.
Down, Matt, down!
I hit the dirt in that precious second when Conestoy's attention was distracted by Grayson. Then Conestoy made his break.
Stop! Conestoy, stop! All right, man, get him!
FBI fire laced the night with red as it went over me, but Conestoy had a good start. He was getting away when he hit that bad curve, doing 70. Then there was nothing on earth that could save him as his car skidded over the steep embankment.
No use calling an ambulance. Conestoy's dead. Better clear out, fellows, and let the police handle this as an accident. I'll stick around and square it with them.
See you later, Grace.
It's a tough way to go.
Lucky for you, though, Matt. You're free to keep on with your work.
Yeah, he was the only one who knew. Well, I'd better get out of here. Think I'll walk up and take a last look at the Little Red Schoolhouse. No, it wasn't the end of a story, nor the beginning. It was just a part of the strange war I was fighting. Freedom's a good cause. It made me feel contented, even though I knew that until the war was won, I'd always be a man who walked alone.
May 7th, 1952, I Was a Communist for the FBI on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
It's a big, bold story set in the heartland of America, along the edge of Lonely Mountain. I am open for business. And so Big William Gorgon, played by handsome Michael James, fiercely set down his Midwest roots.
Oh, darling, we're going to sell bathrobes and raise chickens.
Set his adoring wife, Wilhelmina, portrayed by beautiful Glenda Olsen.
Oh, I love our store, Will.
But they hadn't counted on Big Ralph's bathrobes and cattle store coming to town.
Oh, Will, what will we do, Will?
Will had a plan, a way of facing off against tough Big Ralph. We're going to change the face of America. We're going to advertise.
Ad for what?
The print, broadcasting, and bus benches. We're going to tell people who we are and where we are.
What's a bus?
And so the story of how one man brought advertising to the heartland.
Oh, will it work?
It will. Well, my name ain't Will, Wilhelmina. You got to advertise or we'll die. And so the greatest marketing story of all time is here. Advertise or die, dopey.
Put your message on this national advertising platform. Email classicradiotheater@gmail.com. classicradiotheater@gmail.com. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, time to go fishing. An episode of the soap opera Claudia. This was originally broadcast May 7th, 1948.
And now, Claudia. Doom doodle doo, boom doodle doo, boop doo 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 doo.
David, what do you suppose has happened to Roger?
Oh, he'll be down any minute.
Sure you woke him up?
Of course I woke him up.
Maybe you better go upstairs and take a look.
Why?
Maybe he went back to sleep.
Not Roger.
Why not Roger?
Because that partner of mine is a real fisherman.
Now, what's being a real fisherman got to do with sleeping?
Well, he'll want to get started fishing good and early.
Well, it may still be good, but it certainly isn't early anymore. It's almost 7:30.
Well, it's still early for Roger.
Is it early for the fish, too?
No, just about right for the fish.
Oh, poor little fish. Say, if Roger doesn't come downstairs soon, you're not going to have time for breakfast.
Oh, we'll grab some on the way.
You will not. You'll grab it right here before you leave. I'm not going to have you standing hip high in water with nothing on your stomach.
Now, look, darling, one has nothing to do with the other.
Having a decent breakfast has something to do with everything.
You win. I'll go up and see what's keeping Roger.
You know, I never thought Roger'd be a fisherman.
Why not?
I don't know. You don't expect anyone with an ulcer to be a fisherman, do you?
Don't you?
Well, he just doesn't seem the type for fish. He does for an ulcer, but not for fish.
What is the type?
Oh, more bloodthirsty, angrier, more outdoorish.
Well, there's a lot you don't know about Roger. He's a very complicated person.
That much I do know.
And while I think of it, Mrs. Norton, am I the fisherman type? Bloodthirsty and angry?
Well, a little bit. Round the edges. I like it on a man. You know you ought to go fishing more.
I should?
You feel very nice in this big woolly shirt.
Well, that's a fine reason.
Name a better one. You're not wearing it for the weather. It's been warm.
It's always pretty cool on a trout stream early in the morning.
In May? Nonsense. You're wearing it because fishermen always wear woolly shirts.
You think you're very smart, don't you?
Do I? Darling, you can wear this shirt for me anytime. You don't have to wait for the trout.
Thank you. Thank you for the permission.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
This is a very pretty domestic scene.
Roger, we're just wondering what had happened to you.
Claudia was wondering, Roger.
I slept gorgeously.
Good. Now, breakfast.
Breakfast? Good heavens, no.
No what?
Nothing, except I don't take anything for at least an hour after I'm up.
You don't? Well, that's awful.
What's so awful about it?
I wake up starving. So does David.
I hadn't realized.
Now you know. Now, come on, the two of you, into the dining room. Breakfast has been waiting for half an hour.
You're coming, Roger?
Well, I'll watch.
You'll eat.
When Claudia says eat, you eat.
Everything's on the table, so help yourselves.
Orange juice?
Took all the pits out, so go on, drink it. Do you good.
Oh, all right.
We'd better hurry, too. Jared Tuck will be along any minute.
I'm rather looking forward to seeing him again. I'll never forget the first time I drove up here and saw the for sale sign on the house. I fell in love with it at first sight. Then Jared Tucker said he wouldn't sell.
Oh, don't remind me. You know, I still can't believe he sold the farm to us.
David, it was a stroke of brilliance getting Jared Tucker to guide us today.
Oh, he knows all of the best streams around here, he says.
He should. He's been fishing in them for the best part of a century.
Pass me the cream, Roger. Surely.
There's only one thing I can't understand.
Only one thing? Thanks.
Why you two are going fishing in a dinky little stream when there's a whole ocean not too far away.
You can hardly call what they do in the ocean fishing.
You can't?
That business with heavy tackle and big lines, that's not fishing, that's organized murder.
I see. And your fishing isn't?
Trout fishing? That is something else again.
Oh.
There's no sport quite like it. Not like dry fly fishing.
There isn't? Dry fly. What is it?
Just what it sounds like. Little bits of feather, all prettily colored, and thread and a hook made quite ingeniously to look like a fly.
Really? The things you men think of.
What was that?
Trout fishing could be so simple. You could be sitting safe and dry on the river bank, but you decide to have wet feet and dry flies instead.
Don't you pay any attention to her, Roger.
I won't.
I think I'll go and ask our handyman if he's got the worms ready for you.
Worms? Did you say worms?
Of course. Well, you're going fishing, aren't you?
But that's what the dry flies are for.
What for?
The fishing. We use them instead of worms.
Why?
Why? You explain it to her, David?
Certainly. Darling, trout bite better on dry flies than they do on worms.
I don't believe it.
She doesn't believe it.
Well, how can I? When people have been using worms for thousands of years.
That doesn't prove anything.
It's all the proof I need.
Good.
Of course, I know the real reason why you prefer dry flies. Only you won't admit it.
And what is the real reason?
I don't blame you for it.
Oh.
I'd feel the same way.
What way?
Worms.
That is not the reason.
David, you don't have to pretend. Everybody feels the same way about worms.
Claudia, a man who fishes for trout with flies has nothing on earth but contempt for people who use worms.
Claudia, I have never fished with anybody who used worms, and I trust that the occasion will never arise. I hasten to explain that this is not because of my feeling against the worm, but because of my respect for the trout.
Very nicely put, Roger.
Well, you can give any excuse you like. I wouldn't mind even going fishing with dry flies, but worms, never.
Claudia, a man who would use worms to catch trout is a man who would steal from his mother, pilfer from the poor box, and hunt deer with machine guns and hand grenades.
Oh, Roger, you're terrible. You haven't even finished your orange juice.
So I haven't.
I wish Jared Tucker would get here. I want to get started.
It's a good thing he didn't get here at 7:15 when he was supposed to.
You say he really knows the streams?
Oh, he's promised us excellent fishing. We each ought to catch at least a dozen.
Is that all? Well, that doesn't sound like very much.
That's a great deal for trout.
What a fuss for 12 little fish. If I'd known you were so crazy about trout, David, I'd have bought you some a long time ago. Why didn't you say so?
Buying trout and catching trout are two entirely different things.
Not when you eat them.
Especially when you eat them.
Well, maybe you're right. Maybe I wouldn't like to eat a fish I caught.
Roger meant just the opposite.
He did? Roger, I am surprised at you.
Darling, what about our lunch? Is it ready?
Of course it's ready. It's in the kitchen.
I hope you haven't wrapped a lot of sandwiches.
Oh, I don't think it'll be too much. And I filled a thermos with coffee. I love coffee in a thermos. It has a much better taste.
That is a matter of opinion.
No, in a sort of a way. Except for the fishing part, I wish I were going with you.
You can drink your coffee out of a thermos right here at home whenever you like.
May I? Now that is sweet.
Oh, I can't wait to be standing in that sunny stream, the birds singing, the trout biting. I don't think there's anything that compares with trout fishing on a beautiful, crisp spring day like this one will be.
I'm with you on that.
Uh-oh, there's Jared Tucker.
I'll answer it.
Got your equipment ready, David?
Standing in the front hall, waiting for me.
Hello, Mr. Tucker.
Morning, Miss Norton. What's the matter?
Anything wrong?
You ain't dressed yet.
Oh, yes, I am.
You ain't coming fishing? I expected you to be out there with us, pulling them trout in.
No, I'm not coming. I thought you men would like to be off by yourselves. Little privacy.
Well, Mrs. Norton, you're the first woman I met who understands what a man's like. Yep, the first.
Well, hello here, Mr. Tucker.
You got a right smart wife, Mr. Norton. Yep, right smart she is.
That's news to me.
Maybe she could even tell you what that nice red sunrise I saw this morning means.
Bright red sunrise?
Yep.
How nice. That means a beautiful day.
You see, she's not so smart.
Oh, yes, she is. Red sunrise means a beautiful day for fishing.
You think it may rain?
Yep, begin to cloud up right now.
Oh, David, I'm sorry.
Sorry? Why, there's nothing like an overcast day for bringing fish right up to the top of the water. Come a little drizzle, the silly fish don't know where the water ends and the air begins. Nothing like rain.
Did you say rain?
Did.
No wonder my rheumatism's been so bad. I can hardly lift my arm this morning. I hope the sun would help it.
Fishing's just what you need.
In the rain?
In the rain. But I sure hope it don't start afore we're finished climbing the ledge.
Climbing the ledge?
Sure, gotta climb over the big ledge to get to the other side of the hill.
A hill?
Stream's at the bottom of it. That ledge gets slippery in the rain. Dangerous.
When and if we make it, I hope the fish will be biting, Mr. Tucker.
Mr.
Killian.
Just slipped the name. I know you're Mr. Naughton's partner in architecture. Well, Mr. Gillian, there's 3 things I ain't never tried to predict.
3?
I ain't never tried to predict how a woman is going to act at any given moment. I ain't never tried to predict what day the ice is gone out in Eastbrook Lake. And I ain't never tried to tell a body if he's going to catch a fish or if he ain't.
That makes sense.
So if there's a fish you want, you don't want to take no chance, I recommend you walk yourself down to the fish market and buy yourself a frozen flounder.
Well, we'd better get started.
Hey, don't forget that box, David.
This enormous crate? What is it?
Your lunch.
That much?
In that?
You're going to get awfully hungry climbing rocks and ledges in the rain.
I'm going to get awfully hungry carrying this.
Good. Then you'll eat it all.
Oh, but Claudia...
David, we'd better just go quietly.
Yep, that reminds me, there's one thing I insist on. I don't want no talk. Not a sound. It scares the fish away.
No talking at all?
Not a peep.
Well, I certainly hope you have a good time.
Well, we'd better stop this shilly-shally and get moving. I left my can of worms outside on the porch.
David, did you hear what I heard?
I heard it, I think. Roger?
I think I heard it too, but I'm hoping I didn't.
Did you say worms, Mr. Tucker?
Sure said worms.
That's what I thought you said.
And you left them on the porch?
Of course I did. I ain't the kind of a man who comes into a body's parlor dragging his worms in with him.
Why, of course not, Mr. Tucker. But you do like using worms,
Oh,
Mr.
sure
Tucker?
I do like using them. What do you think I use? My bare hands?
I was wishing you did.
Well, come on, let's go.
I'll take the lunch crate.
And here's your rain poncho, darling.
Goodbye, darling. Take
Bye.
care of yourself.
A box, lunch, and a crate. It started to rain. My arm aches. No talking. And Tucker uses worms.
David, just one thing more.
What?
Please don't catch too many trout.
What?
Well, after all, you're 3 grown men against one little fish. Somehow it doesn't seem quite sporting to me.
It doesn't?
As a matter of fact, I think you'd be a little ashamed to catch a perfectly harmless, helpless trout.
Oh, David, one of the most profoundly mysterious things about women is why they always take the side of the fish.
Dum dum da dum dum. La 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 la.
Sometimes a mere snack takes on the aspects of a festive lunch. For instance, if you reach into the refrigerator and add a bottle of ice-cold Coca-Cola to your noonday meal, a sandwich, a salad, or any leftover somehow becomes an appetizing treat. That's one more reason for keeping your refrigerator well supplied with Coke. You'll find the afternoon's duties are easier to face if you lunch refreshed. Every day, Monday through
You're
Friday...
a fisherman, Mr. King?
Why, of sorts, Mr. Tucker. I only like it when the fish bite, though.
Then you ain't no fisherman. The fish is the least important thing to us. Yep, the least.
Well, maybe you take me fishing someday, Mr. Tucker, in spite of that.
Sure will. I'll take you Monday.
Monday? Oh, sorry, can't Monday. We'll all be back in New York on Monday.
Mr. and Mrs. Naughton gone in?
I think they'll be planning to. Whether they catch their train or not is something else again.
All you got to do to catch a train is set your alarm clock early enough.
Nope, that's not all. To catch a train, you mustn't let Claudia park the car. But that's what you'll find out on Monday.
Well, so long, Mr. King. Got to get to my fishing. Yep.
Goodbye, Mr. Tucker. And as I was saying, every day, Monday through Friday, Claudia comes to you transcribed with the best wishes of your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. So listen again Monday at the same time. And now this is Joe King saying au revoir. And remember, whoever you are, whatever you do, wherever you may be, when you think of refreshment, think of Coca-Cola. For Coca-Cola makes any pause the pause that refreshes. And ice-cold Coca-Cola is everywhere. These programs star Catherine Bard as Claudia and Paul Crabtree as David. And the entire production is supervised and directed by William Brown Maloney.
May 7th, 1948, Claudia on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thank you so much for joining us. Please thank this radio station and support their advertisers. It is their kindness and courtesy that allows us to be with you each and every day we roll around here. And by the way, you can find all of our shows. If you miss a day, you don't have to miss a show. They're available on iHeartRadio or Spotify, Spreaker, TuneIn, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Amazon, or Facebook. Just search for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. And by the way, you can also find out more about classic radio collecting and contact me, along with hearing our shows on demand, at my webpage. That is classicradio.stream. classicradio.stream. Have a great day. Tell all your friends that great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.